Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Jay with you from Liformation. Just decided to do another video to check up on you guys after, well, it's just after Christmas and things are looking good after holidays, but I know it's kind of back to the routine is what you think. Yeah, even I think the same because these systems, once you start um, moving about in these so-called systems that we get stuck in, it becomes a routine in our lives, and it gets very difficult to break free from a routine once it sets in, because it sort of hardens in our subconscious, because when you do something repetitively, um, it kind of like registers in your subconscious mind, and then, like, you know how it is when you sometimes you know wake up for uncanny reasons, and you on a weekend, sometimes early, and you find yourself that it's you don't know why you woke up. Yeah, that's when you get used to that routine. So these routines and patterns actually have a big effect on us, um, not only in these minute things that we think about, but it's also to do with a large um, part in our day-to-day lives. For example, like they play a part in, because see, our minds. Okay, just let's back up a bit. What are our minds? You know, how does our minds work? If you go to that question, you know, we're not born with a mind, kind of thing, okay? Because we're born with a clean slate. Well, some of you might not think that's the case, but then I believe that we're born with a clean slate, and our mind is nothing but, you know, memories that we've gathered up since the time we were born. So these memories leave let's say, a so-called imprint on our lives, and they help us with the decisions that we make, and sometimes these are so hard coded in our brains and our minds that they go deeper into the subconscious. And well, most of you know what a personality is. So a mind, when it hardens up on a routine scale, it becomes a personality. And the more and more that you engage in a repetitive task, the more hard-coded it gets into your subconscious. And when that happens, sometimes you find it very difficult to break free from such a thing. See, it may be good, it may also not be that great. But for example, like when it's also part of the educational process, if you look at it, because you remember when we were in school, how sometimes that that verse that we wanted to memorize over and over, we had to repeat on and on and on. Yeah. So how did that happen? We just kept uttering the same verse over and over again until it stuck in our minds. So that's the power of repetition, and how it impacts your mind. So you don't necessarily have to utter words over and over again for it to stick. Sometimes words don't come out of your mind, but it just keeps playing on and on in your mind. So when that happens, what happens is it's the same effect, same result. You find yourself getting stuck in that habit. What are habits, after all? Habit forms, well, positive habits, negative habits, we all have it. So that's how it forms. It happens as a result of all these things that we do unto ourselves. Nobody's to blame for these, and I'm not blaming anyone else, because that's how we were taught. If you look at a child, a kid, probably at the age of 4 or 5, you see how he runs carefree, just run about, doing his day-to-day things. He doesn't worry about a care in the world about what he does. So, but he's taught the systems when he goes to school by his parents, and you don't behave this way, you behave this way now. Learn to sit still, or you gotta brush your teeth. You gotta not eat too many sweets. So all that inculcates into the child when he's at that age. So, see, that's not necessarily bad, is what I'm saying, but you gotta understand that certain of these formations harden, and it's very difficult to break free once they harden. And sometimes what I'm trying to get at is these negative things that we have done unto ourselves actually hamper us to become successful in our lives. Because we rarely sit and analyze who we are inside. We pay very intricate details to the outside. Okay, look at that person. Look at this person. Wow. Or, what's wrong with that fellow? Why is he acting like that? No, but hey, that person has a different history. He has gone through a different lifestyle for him to end up that way. But let's take you on the other hand, or myself. I'm talking about myself. Now, I've identified a lot of trash in me. So there's a lot, there's a lot of deep stink of a personality that I have, which I don't necessarily show others, but then I know I have it. And it's very important that I know I have it. But it's not simply enough to say that I have it and put a full stop on it. I gotta know how to work on it, because if I want to be successful, if I want to change my life, if I want to become the better version of myself, I have to identify these and I have to take action. If I don't take action, I know I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to get stuck in a rut, and days will pass, weeks will pass, months, quarters, years, and finally, when am I going to change? Is it on my dying deathbed? I don't think so. Nobody's gonna, give you a silver spoon and say, here, this is what you need to change. But this is something that I have done, is to analyze myself, to see the past that you have gone through, or if I look at myself, the path that I have taken up until this point, and how it has impacted me, and there's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of negatives which I need to work on. And when am I going to work on these? Now is the time. And my friends, so this I hope is going to benefit you in the long run. I just wanted to share this with you today, because to explain you from how our minds are formed to our memories that leave an imprint on our subconscious, creating habits, creating personalities of both negative and positive, and of course the need for us to identify these, acknowledge them, that it needs change in a big way. Well, at least I identified some things that need to change, and I'm sure that as you stick around with Liformation, this channel, I want to share with you day in and day out things that we can do together to actually enhance our lives and to change it for the betterment. because I believe there is always the best version of you out there that you need to explore. So, without further ado, my friends, let's go exploring life information. Peace.